Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Will, and today I'm going to be making a laptop sleeve with a very special secret inside. I'm going to be using this leather, which I've never used before. This is the first time I'm using it, and it's called Novonappa, or BRIDAL, I think it's called. Made famous by the Hermes brand, and it's super nice to work with. It's so soft, but that does lead to a couple of little issues. Well, not issues, but it's a lovely leather to work with. So first of all, I'm going to be marking out the pattern with my roundel. I'm going to be lining it with this absolutely beautiful sort of mid-grey goat skin from Oran in France. It's the leather I use, it's the goat I use for lining all of my projects if they require lining. At this point I'm rough cutting around the Novonappa. It's very smooth to work with, and it doesn't get stuck on the blade at all like some of the other goats, the calf skins I've worked with. It's now time to work with to cut out the pattern more accurately, and I'm doing that directly around the pattern so that I don't get any missed marks from a scratchal mark. Now I'm rough cutting around the goat skin, and I do this so that I've got a little bit of wiggle room when I glue the exterior to the lining. It just makes my life a little bit easier later on. And this is the secret sauce inside. I found that if I just had the calf skin and the goat skin, there wasn't quite enough padding for my laptop. So I'm putting in this, I think it's a 2mm foam, and it works so nicely. It gives me a little bit of padding so I don't have to worry about my laptop getting dented, and it also gives the exterior a beautiful padded effect if you line everything up properly. Punching my all important stitching lines and stitching marks. As you can see, I'm actually punching them through just the one layer, and that's because I'm going to be stitching through them later with an awl, because I don't want to risk punching all the way through, because it's quite a thick piece of leather I'm working with at the end. But now it's time to glue the foam to the exterior. I'm doing it to the exterior because it's the actual size instead of doing it to the lining, which is overcut. And now I'm actually pushing the calf skin down around the foam, and this means that I can get a really nice padded effect on the exterior. So the foam's actually pulling a double duty. It's giving a really secure environment for my laptop on the inside, but it's also creating this rather luxurious padded effect for the outside. It just looks beautiful in the end result. Stitching everything together, stitching the front panel to the lining leather. And doing the all-important tap down of the stitches. It's not just for, as I mentioned in my previous video, it's not just for aesthetics. It closes the hole, it does a whole bunch of other stuff, which I've got a video coming out soon demonstrating why you actually want to tap down your stitches. This Novonappa creases so beautifully, even on a relatively low heat. So I think this is 3.5 on my regard, and the creasing line it gives is just beautiful. It's not burnt, it just darkens it to a really nice level. And then polishing the edge on the top of it, because obviously you won't be able to paint or polish the edge once you've stuck the front to the back, because it just they're stuck together, so there's no room to work. So you always want to paint and polish the top of that edge individually before you put the two layers together. And now it's time to glue the front to the back. This is always very nerve-wracking for me, because if you don't line it up quite properly, the top is out of alignment and looks really funky. But my leather pliers, which you can see here, are just so good for this. I don't quite know how they work, but they work beautifully. And that's my cat coming to say hello. That's Tiger. Thought I'd leave that in just for a bit of humanity. You can see how soft the leather is, but it's not, it doesn't tear, but it just pulls together really nicely. You can see that when I'm putting the stitches through there, they pull tightly so that it's soft, but it doesn't tear at all. I think it was 5 lengths of 5 arms length of stitching it took to go all the way around this, because it's not just long, obviously it's a thick edge, which means that there's more thread being pulled through, so it does take quite a lot of thread to do it. And the first coat of paint is going on now. I think this took 6 or 7 coats to get it perfect. Obviously I didn't film all of them, because that would have been mind-numbing for you guys to watch, but I think it was 6 or 7 coats in total. Glazing it with the creasing iron does make it go really nice and well, shiny, and I do like shiny stuff. So you may be wondering at this stage, and I left this in for a reason, why I'm wiping it down with water, which would be a offence to do on any other leather, and that's because with Novonappa, which is what this is, you want to, it marks so easily, so at the end of the project you actually want to wipe it down with this is a microfiber cloth, and it's damp, but it's not wet, and the water actually plumps up the fibers of the leather, and mean that all those little marks that happen when you make something, from little nail marks or whatever it might be, they almost entirely disappear, and it's because the fibers are being properly plumped up. You don't want to do it lots, and you don't want to, the important thing is to wipe it down and then let it air dry. You don't want to put it in the oven or whatever to dry it, otherwise it will get all crispy, but you want to air dry it afterwards, and then it goes perfectly back to normal. Thanks very much guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.